This is a short to the point video of Climate Interactive's excellent global climate change simulator based on the global climate change models. The date starts at year 2000 and it goes up to year 2100. The global carbon dioxide emissions are in tons of carbon per year: 10 billion tons, 20 billion tons, 30 billion tons. Atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration is in parts per million: 200, 400, 600, 800. The temperature changes in degrees C: 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees, and the sea level rises in millimeters: 200, 400, 600, 800. These goals are now wrong. This goal is the 2 degrees C so-called danger limit target of the policymakers. This is the only target on policy that there is, and it's a target to global catastrophe. James Hansen said several years ago that the 2 degrees C target was disastrous. In 2012, Hansen and many other experts in various fields related to global climate change published a paper explaining that 1 degree C was the danger limit. So 1 degree C is the danger limit. So I'm just going to show two of the choices on the slider here that are provided for the interactive simulator. The first one, because they tell the whole story in a nutshell, the first one is policy proposals. This is 2009, the Copenhagen conference. They haven't improved one bit since. And what these do, as I say, is they are a commitment to climate catastrophe. They condemn humanity to climate catastrophe. You would have seen that there was a pretty modest reduction in carbon dioxide emissions. The scientists have published a paper saying that this is a paltry reduction. We're going to just look at the temperature, and we see that the temperature goes on increasing. It never does decrease on the commitments that we are on, thanks to the governments. 2 degrees C is breached, this catastrophic 2 degrees C, by 2050. And at 2100, we're at double that. We're at 4 degrees C. The IPCC, in their last assessment, said that in the very incomplete climate crop models, which are bound to be underestimates, that at 3.4 degrees C, world agriculture is in decline below today's year 2000 baseline, and all crops in all regions are in decline below today's baseline. So there's no question that 3 degrees C is absolute catastrophe. So we'll now go to the very last reduction, the most stringent case scenario in the simulator. And this is zero carbon emissions. This is virtual zero carbon emissions, a 95% reduction in carbon dioxide emissions, which is the best that can possibly be done. We have to extract carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to achieve true zero carbon emissions, which the physics says that we have to avoid the temperature continuing to rise. The temperature increase, by the way, will last for over 1,000 years. So it's irreversible. Whatever temperature increase we get humanity into, it's irreversible. There's no going back. This then shows the 95% reduction in this most stringent scenario. It shows this by 2020, which of course now it's too late to be able to achieve that. But the relationship is the same, of course. You'll see here that the atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration is stabilized. It's a straight line there. So to stabilize atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration, we have to achieve virtual zero. That is, achieve it in the long term. In the short term, there'll be a little bit of a reduction, as you see there. But in the long term, to stabilize it, you have to have 95% reduction. The global temperature increase continues to increase, even on a 95% reduction. On this particular model, it begins to plateau, level off at around 2090. It still hits the global catastrophe of 2 degrees C. So there's absolutely no question whatsoever that the only target that matters is zero carbon emissions. And even then, we have to take some carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Many published papers have this. James Hansen at the big meeting of the American Academy for the Advancement of Science in 2012 pointed this out, that we have to, in addition to achieving virtual zero carbon dioxide emissions, converting all our energy sources, stopping deforestation, using alternatives to cement production and some other things, we have to develop the capacity to take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. We are clearly today in a dire planetary emergency.